Sometime back, my friends, one of my viewers sent me a package and it was filled with RidgeMonkey products. This is a company from the UK. They make a wide range of products for like fishing, for outdoor use, and so on. This wasn't a company that I've heard of before. RidgeMonkey. Definitely different. Anyways, inside of this package, there was a number of products. A double burner stove, a sandwich maker, and also a square kettle. A few months ago, I began testing out the square kettle, and that's what this review is all about. This, my friends, is the square RidgeMonkey kettle, and this is the smallest kettle that the company makes. What you're looking at here is the half-liter version. The good thing about the kettles that the company offers is that they're virtually all the same. The only difference is that they get taller. So none of the features are different. That means that my review for this kettle will also apply to the larger sizes that the company offers. Marvin, my friend, thank you so much for sending this to me along with everything else. And more importantly, thank you so much for your friendship. I need to say this, everybody. I really do appreciate the fact that Marvin spent his money. He purchased these, sent them to me, the cost of shipping and so on. That is incredibly generous and I really do appreciate it. With that being said though, I have to be honest about this product. And folks, let me tell you this. This is the worst kettle that I've ever tested. When it comes to my reviews, it doesn't matter if I purchase the product, if it's sent to me as a gift, or if it comes from a company. I have to be honest. And in this episode, this is an agenda-free review of the RidgeMonkey kettle. Yes, this kettle is absolutely terrible. I hate it. I really do. Seriously, it's one of the most frustrating to use kettles that I've ever tested out. And I do not recommend it for any price or in any size. The frustrations with using this product don't end when your trip is over. When you take this home, when it's time to clean it up, wash it up, it's frustrating as well. While this product does look cool, the functionality of this product is terrible. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and take a look at it now. Let's discuss what this kettle is. Let's go over the features. We'll touch upon some stats, and then the review will begin. If you purchase this kettle, this is what you're going to receive. First off, you have a storage bag with a draw pull. The storage bag is of a good size, and it easily fits this kettle. Here we have the square kettle from RidgeMonkey. As you can see here, it features a square shape. As you can see here with the kettle, you have the pour spout here. You have two handles on this. Each one has a plastic grip. Check that out. That is definitely different. Here we have the lid. It has a silicone grab tab on the top. You have vent holes, and this is the bottom. And here we have the inside of the kettle. I know what you're thinking, everybody. You're thinking to yourself, this kettle does not look bad, you don't see any issues. Just wait until the review starts. For now, let's go over some stats real quick. As I mentioned before, RidgeMonkey offers numerous kettles in various sizes. All of these kettles are the exact same size, with the exception that they get taller and taller. With the half-liter version, it measures 5.9 inches by 5.9 inches. Those measurements will be the same for every single kettle. Again, the exception is how tall they are. So with the half-liter version, it is 2.3 inches tall. With the large size kettle, it is 3.5 inches tall, and the capacity is 1.1 liters. There is an extra large version. It is 5.7 inches tall, and the capacity is 2 liters. The company also has a special version that features paracord handles, and it is available in all three sizes: small, large, extra large. In other words, half a liter, 1 liter, and 2 liters. As far as the materials go, we have aluminum, some plastic, some silicone, and we have a nylon bag. With the small kettle that you see here, the weight is 8.3 ounces on my scale. The weight of the kettle with the storage bag is 9 ounces. As far as cost goes, for the half-liter version, you're looking at $26. Talking about the price of this kettle, we should talk about availability of this kettle in the United States. Again, this is a company from the UK, and apparently they are very popular over there. In the United States, this company is virtually unknown, but some of their products are for sale on Amazon. Speaking of which, the only kettle that's available on Amazon at the time of filming in the United States is the extra large version. That's the 2-liter version. And the cost of that is right at $60. With all of that being said, everybody, it is now time to focus on the pros and cons concerning this kettle. And again, everything that I say about this kettle will apply to the other sizes as well. The first pro out of unfortunately not many is the fact that this kettle has a unique design. It has a square shape, which is uncommon. It has 2 grab handles, which is very uncommon. And overall, this kettle has a look that most people haven't seen before. I will be the first to tell you that this kettle looks cool. Next, everybody, we have good quality materials here with this kettle. I've been using this for multiple months in all sorts of conditions. Warm conditions all the way down to freezing conditions with lots of snow, lots of ice. And that leads us to the next pro. durability. Throughout my testing, this kettle has taken some abuse and it just keeps on going. In fact, it shows very little sign of wear, outside of being dirty. The next pro that I have for this kettle is the fact that it's lightweight. It's not ultra light. Without a doubt though, if weight was your primary concern, you can go much lighter weight than this here. Next, everybody, I have to say that I like the storage bag for this kettle. It's large enough to easily fit the kettle inside of it, and there's a little bit of room left over. Next, I have to say that I do like the overall shape and size of this kettle. You can see how narrow this kettle is, and at the same time, how wide it is. Because of this shape, it does easily stack with other gear inside of your backpack. In other words, it's slightly less round than most kettles. The next pro that I have is the little grab tab for the lid. It is very rigid, it stands up very easily, it's easy to grab onto. This is an area that a lot of kettles get wrong, but fortunately, RidgeMonkey got it right with this grab tab. The last pro that I have for this kettle is the fact that it does what a kettle should do. You can boil water in this, you can make coffee, you can even cook inside of it if you need to. And with that, my friends, we're now going over to the cons for this kettle. Get ready, this list is much longer. First things first, when it comes to the hole here for this kettle, this is actually quite small, and this poses problems, especially when you go to fill this up. The company has placed a max fill line right on the side here, but that means absolutely nothing because this hole is so small. It is very hard to determine how much water you actually have inside of this kettle. Time and time again, I've overestimated or underestimated how much water I've put in it. Again, because this hole is so small. When it comes to most kettles, the opening's quite large so you can gauge how much water you put inside of it. But with this kettle, you cannot do that. This fill line means absolutely nothing. It's written on the side. It's useless, completely useless. Unless you have this kettle right up to your face, there's no way to tell how much water you have inside of it. And that's just one thing that makes using this kettle very frustrating. Additionally, because the inside of the kettle is so dark in color, it makes determining how much water you put inside of it difficult. Next, my friends, when it comes to the pour spout, it is incredibly small. That means that the rate of flow is very low. The first couple of times that I used this kettle, I picked it up by the handles, went to pour it, and I over poured. I poured out of the hole here in addition to pouring from the spout. And that's because this spout allows for a low rate of flow. Even for a kettle of this size, this spout is too small. Next, when it comes to the handles, they are incredibly hard to move. It really does take two hands to move them into place, and that can pose some problems. Let's say that you have your kettle on your stove, you need to add in some coffee, you're making cowboy coffee. You need to move these with both hands. You need to have one hand on it to secure it, and the other hand to push these down, or to pull them up. They are super stiff, and there's no way to make any adjustments on that. Continuing to talk about the handles here on this kettle, these do you no favors at all. We've discussed already that they're very stiff. But in addition to that, when they're up, it makes grabbing the lid extremely difficult. You have to stick your finger underneath these grab handles, grab that loop, pick it up, and pull it out. It is not easy to do, especially in cold situations. Let's say that you have your gloves on, you're trying to stick a gloved finger underneath these handles into this tiny hole. It's not easy to do. If you're not careful, you can easily tip this over or knock over your entire stove system. This is very poorly thought out, this is poorly designed, and folks, this really doesn't make any sense. You may be thinking that you'll put one handle down, leave the other up. Unfortunately, that doesn't work very well either, because all of a sudden, all of the weight goes to one side, and it leans like this, and the water can spill out. Again, the handles are just really poorly thought out. In addition, everybody, when the handles are up, it's hard to get this back into place, as you can see there. The next con that I have for this kettle is the lid itself. So this is the bottom side here, and you might be able to see this, but this is composed of two separate pieces, basically bolted together. Between these two pieces, there's a gap, a small gap. And inside of that gap, debris, dirt, water can form. So it's very difficult to clean this, and it's also difficult to dry it. You have to remember when you're using this kettle out in the field, do not put this on the ground like that. Otherwise, dirt and debris will get in between those two pieces. Later on, it will fall out inside of your kettle. In addition, this lid is very small and it easily falls inside of the kettle. This lid is way too small for this kettle, and if you're not careful, it just falls right inside. Speaking of the inside of the kettle, it is very difficult to clean. First off, the rim here is quite sharp. Next, the bottom of this has ridges in it, and there's a ridge at the very corner here that collects whatever you put inside of this. It may be water if you're making coffee grounds go back there. It's exceptionally difficult to clean. I'm not sure if you all noticed that, but water just fell out of this kettle, and I washed this 3 days ago, but yet there's water on the inside. It's still wet. but it's trapped in there. I cannot get it to dry unless I put this on a heat source. At the same time, I can rub my finger along that ridge and it's dirty. And that's because it's really hard to clean the inside of this. The same applies for the bottom of the kettle. You can see those ridges. It is very difficult to clean this. And also, water likes to get trapped in these ridges. Also, my friends, this kettle is not made from one solid piece of aluminum. There's at least 2 pieces here. You have overlapping pieces of aluminum that go around the bottom, and water can get trapped in between those 2 pieces. I told you all, this is the worst kettle I've ever tested out, and I meant it. This thing features so many odd choices. The design is so weird. I have to wonder whether or not the company even tested this out before they decided to manufacture it, because there's so much about this that makes no sense. The fact that it's hard to clean and hard to dry out is ridiculous to me. Factor in the very small pour spout, and I mean it. This is super small. It is just slightly larger than a straw. Slightly. When it comes to the grab tab for the lid, they put silicone on this, and that was a good choice. When it comes to the handles, they did not use silicone. Instead, they used plastic. That's a bad choice. That means that you have to be very careful with this. This is especially true if you have the kettle over an open fire. You have to be careful or you will melt these handles right off. They should have used silicone because silicone is more heat resistant. The last con that I have for this kettle is price. At $26, this is expensive for the capacity. It's expensive for what you're getting. You can spend less and get a whole lot more. You can also spend less and get a much lighter product. Speaking of which, let me show you all a comparative kettle. This kettle here is 1 liter, and this is from Trangia. We have the RidgeMonkey, which is half a liter. This weighs 6.2 ounces. This weighs 8.3 ounces. This costs $20. This costs $26. My question for you all is, which one would you purchase? The handle's in the center, it folds back very easily, and it also stands up. These handles are very hard to use. Both have good grab tabs. This lid will never ever fall inside, whereas that one will. Check out the differences between the openings here. This one's very small and this one is huge. You can easily tell how much water you have inside of this, and you cannot tell how much water you have inside of this one. As far as my review goes of the RidgeMonkey Kettle, I am done. In the end, I do not recommend this product to anyone. At least here in the United States, it's not easy to find. There's only the extra large version on Amazon. But to my brothers and sisters across the pond there, do not purchase this product. There are plenty of fantastic kettles out on the market that are less expensive, that offer better features, that are easier to use, less frustrating to use. This is a frustrating product that I don't feel like the company actually took the time to test it out. There's just a lot here that does not make sense, and in my opinion, it's not worth your money. Marvin, my friend, thank you so much for sending this. I really do appreciate it, and I really hope that I don't come off as sounding unappreciative for your generosity and your kindness, because that's not the case. I really do appreciate it, but folks, I have to be honest. I would not recommend this to anyone. My friends, I'm done for now. Hit the like button before you go. I do appreciate it. It helps out the channel quite a bit. If you want to support a channel that's agenda-free, that's not selling products, you could do so on Patreon, on YouTube. You could join the Wolf Pack. Oh yeah. Everybody, take care, be well, strength and honor. Bye for now.